1977. It's the town meeting vote that controls here, not the deed. Thank you.
FinCom member, please. FinCom member.
I'm Bonnie Jean Catulli, Right Lane, Finance Committee member. I'm one of the other of the 3 votes that were in favor of this article. I have been, talking to Mr. Heaton right from the very beginning and followed along with his research and the development of this project, and I really believe that it has strong merit, okay? I addressed an earlier speaker who said, though, well, if you can't trust the Finance Committee, who are you supposed to trust? Well, I don't want to be your conscience, okay? That's not what I'm here for. I personally am here to look at the financial standpoint of this town and give my opinion. I don't want to guide you. I want you to make your own choice. This project has merit. The article is asking you to allow the Board of Selectmen to move forward with negotiations. No, they can't make any decision until they actually have CPC funding. We have to put our quarter in the bank, or these developers aren't going to go anywhere. They're not going to do anything for us. So we will be coming back to get your approval and that of the CPC. They're not going to move forward until that happens. So I would encourage you to vote down any more indefinite postponement, further study. We've studied this as far as we're going to study it. We need to move forward and do something now.
Lady to my left.
My name is Marsha Grizzled. Again, I'm the director of the Council on Aging. I came here to Wareham last December, and in February I was invited to a selectmen's meeting to talk about what seniors in Wareham might need or were doing. And as I looked at Wareham, I began to see a number of things. I saw a large population of seniors living at or below federal poverty guidelines, which if you're a couple would be 14,000, and if you're a single individual would be 10,000 or under. I saw a great need for additional housing for seniors here. There just isn't enough. I saw waiting lists of 7 years in some areas and over 2 years in others for low-income housing or fixed rent housing for seniors. And although y'all may think that there's enough housing here that's affordable, the reality is, just like condominiums, a condo, you're paying not only a mortgage fee, but you're also paying a fee to the condo management company, and that can change. And just like condos, trailer parks have those same issues. Okay, you not only are people paying for the trailer itself, they're also paying rent to the park, and they're paying additional fees, and those go up all the time. Many seniors are aging in place, not out of choice, but they really have nowhere to go. Okay? And these are seniors who've helped your community, who have given by volunteering in your churches, in your schools, wherever they're needed. And they have done so over the years and without a lot of fussing, complaining, or whining. We provide transportation here in Wareham, and we do cover West Wareham. We're out there all the time. There's no issue about getting into Wareham Center. There's no issue getting to Toby, getting to diagnostic testing in the community if you need it. It's here, it exists now, and it will just continue to be here. The reality is that this isn't costing this community. It will basically be a lot of federal money, and if we don't apply for it, other states and other communities...
Matt, was the timer on this? Time's up.
Okay.
Time's up. You want more time?
Just a minute. If we don't apply for it...
Motion to extend time by 1 minute. All those in favor, please say aye. All those say no. You have 1 minute.
Thank you. If we don't apply for this money, some community in Kentucky, Mississippi, or wherever else in this country will. It's HUD money. It's different than state funds. Okay, you got state funds to build your senior housing here. You have to go back to the state, and with Dick's help, you will, to get funding to repair what needs repairing. This is HUD money. It's totally different. And it's not a real cost to this community. But there is a great need here, and I hope y'all will consider it. Thank you.
Gentleman to the right.
Tony Scarciotti, Precinct 1. I think a question arises out of that deed when council mentioned that it's the vote. I believe, if I'm correct, it's the vote. Then why does not the deed reflect the town vote? Should it not reflect that? Shouldn't it be corrected to reflect what the town actually wanted to do?
I think that was explained, but would you like to explain it
No,
again?
I didn't get the
Would
explanation
you like to
of
explain it
that,
again?
Mr. Moderator.
Mr. Moderator, through the previous speaker, I don't know why the Board of Selectmen in 1977 chose to add that language. I can guess at it, although I can't tell you as a matter of fact why they went that route. Could it be corrected at some point? Sure. Is it necessary to correct it for purposes of this article? Probably not.
But then,
We're not going to have a discussion. Please
I'm not trying
make
to
your
debate,
argument
but my
on the pros and the cons of the
argument
argument.
is that that deed is still in effect. And at some point in time, it's going to have to be corrected. And until it is, I think it should be corrected first before we move forward, and then move forward on this should we have to. Because if somebody takes you to land court, I think the deed is going to override what town meeting did, what town meeting said. So I think we've got a problem with the deed that needs to be taken care of. We just can't overlook
Well, I
it.
think the question's been asked and answered. Gentleman to my left.
Yes, Steve Curry, Precinct 5. Just a couple of questions, Mr. Moderator. First, from the initial article that was printed, the changes, the parcels, and everything are all different than was printed, and the article's about 50%
Yes.
changed. Doesn't that classify as substantial changes than what the public was led to believe what the article would be?
That's a good question, and I raised that question myself. Some other people raised that question at some open forums that took place between the time the warrant was printed and this evening. And upon review, as everybody knows, my policy is any amendments cannot be expansive of what the town has been put on notice about. These changes are restrictive. In other words, all of the lots in the article as printed in the warrant are included in a lesser degree in the motion. So therefore, a larger parcel was defined into a smaller parcel. So that amendment is appropriate. Or, excuse me, the motion is appropriate.
Okay, my second question, the previous speaker mentioned that in the writing of this article, it gives the selectmen permission to lease the property. There's nothing in there that says about coming back to the body. Basically, this article is saying gives them permission to negotiate and lease. Is that correct through town council?
I think I can answer it based on what was said previously. It was mentioned that CPC funds are involved here, and before those CPC funds can be applied, this town meeting would have to make that decision.
But excuse me, Mr. Morrow, that's not what the article says. The article just says to grant permission to lease or the property.
Council will answer the question.
Mr. Moderator, through you to the previous speaker. Yes, the article, if passed, would give the Board of Selectmen the authority to lease the property for the purpose of affordable senior housing for up to 99 years. So you're absolutely correct. If, however, some other funding source were required to make any of the deals work, that would have to come back to you.
Okay. And then another question, in the presentation, it said 4.6 million to almost $7.5 million in revenue. If the property's being built and even assessed for $40 million at a $10 tax rate, that's only going to bring in $400,000 a year. Is this 4.6 over 20 million over 20 years or per year? And then secondly, if the company that does this or is leasing it is a nonprofit organization, that property becomes tax exempt. If non-charitable organization, so there will not